Welcome to another Cigar Chat. I'm your host, Rob, from Robbie Raz Reviews. As always, we've got Logan back in the States.
America. Home of the free.
In the garage there, you got your cool towel going?
I do, man. It was 107 in Austin today.
Ooh, girl.
Not, dude. Dude, you have no idea, man.
Wait, hold on. Let me just to make you feel a little bit better about yourself.
What is it, like 70, like douchey 2 where you're at?
Hold on. Oh, you know what?
It's probably like 75 with a slight breeze.
Oh, it's sexy out here, dude. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
50% humidity.
It's 50 tops.
That's a jerk.
75 degrees, baby.
Dude, it's 8 o'clock here and it's still over 100. Even the grass is sweating.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But we digress. We've got joining us today. We've got Antonio from Reinado Cigars. Antonio, thanks for taking the time, man.
Absolutely, man. How you doing, guys? Always a pleasure.
Good. It's good to see you. You're live in. Are you in New York or Jersey? You're in Jersey.
New Jersey, my friend.
So what's the difference between New York and New Jersey?
A huge toll.
Real estate prices.
Real estate prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I've never been to the East Coast really. Other than I've been to North Carolina.
Really?
A few times. Yeah. Yeah. I've been to North Carolina a few times to visit family, but I've never been to New York. I've never been to Jersey.
You got to come out.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Sopranos. That was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like Gandolfini, but just like about 3 feet shorter or 4. So
may he rest.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, we started off on a downer. We've had Antonio join us on the show. This is your second time, I think.
Second time, yeah.
We've moved over to Cigar Federation now, so we've got some folks who are following the show who maybe didn't follow it before. So let's kind of start out with before we jump into that, let's let everybody know we've got, and I think the store has been updated, we've got some special deals on Reinado Cigars. So, Antonio, you want to give everybody kind of a little bit of background on what we've got available during the show today? And I think we're going to do a giveaway as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got the Habanitos, which are a 4x38 Petite Coronas that really, they've scored 92 in Cigar Journal in the past, and they've been written up and talked about nicely online by, Jerry Cruz from Stogie Review and a couple of other folks out there. They're really getting some presence out there, and, they're a delicious little Habano Rosado wrapper-covered Nicaraguan Puro. They last about 30 minutes, and they're very tasty, man. They're very tasty.
And so that
we've got those, and then we've got the Grand Empire Reserve, the 5x55 box press, original release, which has done nicely on the market, and a lot of people seem to enjoy those. And thank you everybody for supporting. It's a real nice stick. It's a Nicaraguan Puro.
The Grand Empire Reserve, you guys have seen it. I just posted my review today up on Robbie Raz Reviews, and it's up on Cigar Federation as well. So check that out. That's a great smoke, and I had mentioned this actually in my review. I didn't do a top 10 list of 2012 like a lot of folks did. I didn't do one this year, and if I would have done one, that would have been right up there probably in the top 2 or 3. Oh, that's the cigar right there.
This is that area.
So it's a 5x55. It's kind of a soft box press. Really nice smoke. It's probably about. I smoked it for about 95 minutes, give or take. Logan will smoke it in 10.
Hey, now, we're only like 5 minutes in. Don't start ripping on me just yet. I literally have a timer. I'm going to send it to everyone in the audience, like an internet timer that I use to slow down on smoking.
Nice.
It works well.
Well, it's good that you actually get to taste the cigars then. That's weird.
Hey, man, it doesn't matter. The more you smoke, the more you taste. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, all that those are going to be available Those will be available in the store, and I think that we've got that. That should be turning on any moment now. So right across the top of your they are up. So we've got everything at 15% off. So you guys can look in there and you can see what the pricing is. We got 5 packs, 10 packs, and boxes for of each. So we'll kind of go into that, and we're going to do a little giveaway here as well. So we'll do the giveaway pretty soon. So if you don't win, you get a chance to pick up some stuff at a good discount. That's going to be on available for the duration of the show. So if you guys do want to pick them up, you got to do it relatively soon. So we'll jump back, and Antonio, give everybody kind of some background on yourself, how you got involved, and how Reinado came to be.
Well, okay. Going back a couple of years, we launched 4 years ago, and I'm a graphic designer by trade. That was my profession, and I was going into a cigar store to pitch some business, and as I'm there, they hand me a cigar, and as I'm waiting, and I just fell in love with cigars, and I started following it with a passion, and I've always wanted to own my own business, so I married up the two and just went for it, really. From one day to the next, kind of, just headed right into it, man. I just never looked back after that. I saw the vision for the blend that I wanted, and I went after it.
I had myself on mute.
So you went for the gusto, moral story.
I went for the gusto. Yeah, I went for the gusto. I hopped in an RV and I just started riding to Nicaragua from there.
Dude, I would road trip to Nicaragua with you. That would be sweet.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it kind of turns into like a James Bond mobile. The RV, the wheels go up, and then I just submerged in water and went right into Nicaragua.
I was gonna say that's a long road trip through some dicey areas too. I think that would that would make for a good reality show. You two guys in a Winnebago driving down to Nica. That would be fun. See if we can get some network interest on that.
Dude, I'm done, man. As long as I can work remote and I got internet and we stay away from certain parts of Mexico so I don't get my head chopped off. Done.
I don't know.
I'm down.
We get like a craft beer brand to like sponsor it or something, and we got plenty of that.
And we get a driver. Oh, dude, and Rob can tape it. That'd be sweet.
Rob's not going.
Of course you're not. You're never down for the fun stuff.
No. Rob is gonna be watching from a safe distance.
No, we're taking you, Rob. We're gonna roofie you, and we're gonna take you.
Oh man, I've seen that show. I've seen that one.
No.
So you had that life-changing moment where you walk in and you say, you know what, I've always wanted to own my own business. This is kind of what I want to do, and you went for it. And I know it's a long process, and it's a rough process to go through, concept to fruition. Give us just a little bit of that. How did you go from this is what I want to do to getting into the factories to pinning down that original blend, to getting everything rolled and getting moving?
Well, I mean, speaking in broader terms here.
Sure.
I had to meet with a couple of factories. I wanted to really make sure that whoever I worked with shared the vision that I did and saw what I wanted to do. So, I went to a couple of bigger factories and in Nicaragua, and a lot of people were great. A lot of factories, were very, very receptive, but I felt like, the one factory that I settled with just really shared my vision and I really made a connection with, and so I went with them, and then the blending process took a long time. The blending process, took a lot of failures actually, and you get discouraged, and I didn't want to just settle on any just ordinary blend. So I took my time with it. It took like well over a year, as I recall, and I just kept at it, and then the core blend was the first blend that we achieved, and I knew that was had some possibilities, and then from there that was out for a couple of years on the market, and I got some good responses. so I decided to take the core blend and modify it and grow another blend from it, because I thought that it could be taken further. So we added a Nicaraguan aged filler into it that I felt good about, and we test blended it for a bunch of months, and we added we put it through our signature fermentation process, and it very receptive to it, and it worked out really, 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 really special. So and that's where the Grand Empire Reserve 5x55 came into play, and I played with it without a box press and with a box press and other shades, and that's the one that spoke to me pretty much. And I only released it in one size because I felt that if I can get it something really special and right in one size, I'd like to do that and then grow it from there. I'm not a big believer in taking huge steps and just doing something so erratically like that. So I wanted to take my time with it, come out on one size, and then now this year, it's been out for a little bit over a year now, and now I feel the time is right to expand on the line and come out with some other Vitolas that I think the blend resonates. And so, therefore we have 3 new sizes that we just launched at the IPCPR show in Las Vegas, which were received very, very well. I'm very happy about that. And, I think I gave you guys a couple of samples. And, I don't know if you're ready to talk about that, you guys, but we can. I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I want to go back and try to remember which one I smoked. Logan, which one did you smoke?
Hey, I'm trying to buy cigars right now. Hold on. Hey, if you're coming on my show, I'm gonna buy your stuff, brother. No, let me get it. I got it right here. Because I sent you a tweet because we had a little. I mean, not that I ever mess anything up. It was totally Rob's fault.
Of course.
But of course, well, naturally. So we tried to have you on, CigarChat during the show, and thanks to the really crappy internet IPCPR. But I sent you a direct message. You gave me one of the Grand Empire Reserves, and to be honest, IPCPR, we've talked about. Everyone made jokes about how much I smoked, and that was towards the end of the day, like 4 to 5 o'clock when I smoked it. And the fact that I could still actually taste it and enjoy it is saying a lot after you've tortured your palate with 10 cigars throughout the day, right? So, yeah. I mean, to be honest, like when you were on the first Cigar Chat, I was in, of course, where else am I? In India, and I wasn't on, so that's kind of my first experience with your cigars. And, from what I've smoked, what I'm smoking now, dude, it's, like you said, it's pretty epic, man. Like, I have no complaints. You got good stuff. And I just bought $150 worth of your crap, so whatever. Obviously, I like it.
Yeah, I think I know.
I'll put you down for 20 boxes.
What's that? Yeah.
Hey, I am like the best customer anybody could have. Like Skip Martin, I mean, if I like your stuff, then it could be bad. Rob can attest.
Logan gets the rap of the weasel this and weasel that, and we all kind of get that. But when it comes to buying cigars, I don't think I've ever met anybody who buys more than this guy. It's unbelievable. So yeah, definitely keep him on your radar, dude.
I will.
He's of being a yuppie.
He's a whale.
It's like, a perk of being a yuppie, dude.
He scored a whale.
No kids.
Yeah, no kids, not yet. Hello.
Hey, baby. Hey, Allie. Hello.
She watching tonight?
No, she's at a bachelorette party in Florida. And I told her not to watch.
No, she's watching. I told her to watch.
I
told her we were going to give you the full court baby press.
Dude, she's already full port. She's trapping. I mean, she is all over the place, dude. It's over. Game over.
So, not that that's not fun to talk about. I love giving Logan a hard time, but he really does. He buys more cigars than anybody that I know.
Wow.
When we were at, like Logan said, at IPCPR, we tried to go live. Didn't really work. And Antonio was gracious enough to sit with us and bear with us while we tried to do that, and it didn't really happen. You gave me one of the limited edition Petite Lanceros, and I put that right in my bag and said that one's coming home because I was very excited, having already smoked a handful of the. There you go. Yeah, that's the one. So That's limited to how many?
250 boxes, my friend.
Oh wow. So it is limited.
Yeah. Very limited.
And that is...
That's a 6x38.
6x38. Okay.
Yeah.
And while we were doing the show, I think I smoked the Toro. Is the Toro a box press?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that was the one I smoked during the show. And it's... okay, yeah, that's the Toro size, yeah. And that actually reminded me a lot of the Robusto for, I mean, kind of obvious reasons, I think. It's a very similar... it's pretty similar. I mean, the ring gauge is a little bit smaller, but it didn't really impact. It didn't impact it to the point where I would feel like one was better than the other.
Okay.
It's. I mean, I would say that I like the Toro a little bit better because I do like a smaller ring gauge, and it was a bigger cigar, so I could smoke it for longer.
Right.
But I mean, the flavor impact for me wasn't really there. I'm really curious to see the flavor change in the Petite Lancero, which I'm gonna have a review up of that one next week. I'm gonna try to smoke it this weekend.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm a fan of both the cigars, and I've told you this before on several occasions, and like I did say, and I'm actually working on a piece that I'm gonna put up on the site about cigars that I don't think people talk about enough, and
Okay.
The Grand Empire Reserve I think is gonna be right there at the top of that list because it is a really really good cigar. The price point I think is perfect. You know, you're paying a little bit more than your average Robusto for the 5x55, or 5x55. But once you start smoking it, you're not even thinking about that. I mean, it's a really really good cigar, really sweet, lots of full flavor, medium body. I mean, and you guys know me well enough by now to know that that's right in my wheelhouse. So, lots of chocolatey notes for me. There was some. It reminded, actually, I think I linked back to it in my review. There's, I don't know, is C's Candy nationwide? You guys have C's Candy?
I haven't had it.
No? Okay, well,
sounds no.
No, well, it's they do like chocolates and stuff, and it's the kind of thing that you always have at Christmas. Somebody has a box of chocolates or something. But they make these, they're called molasses chips, and it's like a honeycomb molasses thing in the middle, and it's covered with chocolate. It's just a little piece, and it's kind of got a crunch to it, and it really reminded me of that at the beginning because there's a lot that kind of honeycomb flavor, and I mean I'm smiling when I talk about it, so obviously I liked it. But that was, it's funny the weird things that some of the flavors pull out, but that was the thing that jumped out for me, and then it transitioned more into like a caramel towards the end. Like I really enjoyed it. The sweetness for me was big time, and I'm big on sweetness when it comes to cigars, so. Yeah, I really liked it. And
I'm big on sweetness.
Yeah, you know I'm all about the sweetness.
Dude, that said it.
Was that?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Look at Logan using the filter. I love it.
I'm holding it back, bro. I'm just thinking through all the stuff I could say about you right now, but I'm not going to.
No, that's good. My face is turning red. I don't know why.
Because you're embarrassed because I could just at any point just BAM and it'd be over. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
So let's try to do the giveaway. Let's do that now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because I think we're just gonna pick one person, and I'm gonna let Logan. Logan's got a whole new process of how he's gonna do this.
Dude.
So
technology, bro. Technology.
We're going to debut our new selection process. So we're like the BCS.
I mean, we're kinda.
No, we don't want to be like the BCS.
No, we're better than that.
There you go. We are better than that. That should be our tagline. We're better than the BCS.
Which, I mean, a dog turd's better than the BCS, but I mean that's not saying much. All right, so
we're gonna do. Let's real quick, Antonio. We're giving away like what one sampler, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we're giving away a sample.
Okay, perfect.
Wait, weren't we giving away a 5-pack or something?
It's up to you, man.
Man, it's your call. But be careful, man. Those weasels out there, when they smell blood in the water, it's game over. So
yeah, don't give the option. We did that last week.
Yeah, don't give it. Yeah, then we ended up with 10 samplers, dude.
I think somebody signed over their 401k. It got weird.
Pretty much. It got real awkward.
So yeah, so we'll do one sampler, and you can throw whatever you want in there. And so let's get that out of the way. So if you guys don't win, you can always pick some up, at the special show discount. And Antonio does not discount his stuff. Like to get him to give us a little bit of discount here was, I did some things I'm not really proud of. So take advantage.
And we've got it on video.
Yeah, that's gonna be on the first episode of Cigar Chat After Dark. And
we should, man. That would be so cool. And we can do like the X-rated version, and Logan can really come out.
Nice.
Wait, whoa, what?
I don't mean like out of the closet. I'm saying like be myself. You know what I mean?
Oh,
come on, Rob.
Fantastic.
Dirty Mind. This is like a PG show, bro.
That was fantastic. Okay, so go ahead. How are we gonna pick our winners?
Well, because I do work at a technology company. Not that I know anything about technology, but we created and I just put the link. Actually, I've been putting the link in the chat over and over and over again. But basically, it's a little form on Google Drive where it'll take you to a site. It'll take you to the website. It asks for your SigFed username, email, first name, street address, city, state, and zip code. One, because it makes it much easier than you have to email me every week to get your addresses. And two, it allows me to collect your information so then I can sell it to the highest bidder, because that'll be another income stream that we'll be using. No one else got my joke because no one's paying attention, but that's fine. No big deal. But anyways, so I'm not selling your information. That's a joke. And so fill it out, and here in about the next 10 seconds, get your entries in, and I will pull a winner at random. And I probably, if you've made fun of me in the last probably 2 days, I probably won't pick you, but that's neither here or there.
So that's pretty much everybody.
Well, you would never win, Rob, because you're a freaking jerk.
Yeah.
So here we go. Drum roll, please. And we're giving away one sampler.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Pick a number, Antonio, pick a number between 1 through 15.
12.
12? 1, 2?
Yeah.
That looks like number 12. I don't know who you are, but Paul C. Paul something that sounds Italian. Casanani something. Congratulations. You're the big winner. And guess what? You don't have to email me now because I've got your information. Congrats. Paul C.
Paul's
Paul the Italian. Paul the Italian.
Where's Cigar G? He's usually around, isn't he?
He used to be, but he's got his own cigar company now, so instead of him coming to the show, he's on the show, which I'm so pumped about. It's going to be so sweet.
That should be After Dark episode 1.
Yeah.
Because that could get weird. Like real weird. You think I was uncomfortable last week.
Dude, at IPCPR, he's not what I expected, though, but in a good way.
No, it's almost weird how much I like that guy. It's like almost inappropriate. Like I just want to hang out with him. Him and all of his friends, man. They're just really nice guys. I really liked hanging out with these guys. So we're getting off topic. So what? So Logan, we got some audience questions, or what are we doing?
Why don't you do it, and I'll start collecting the audience questions. How about that?
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about your here. Hold on, let me select this. So we've talked a little bit about how you got involved in the business, and a little bit of a background on your 2 different blends. So you've got the 2 different blends, and now we've got some new sizes in the Grand Empire Reserve. And those are those available now, or they're going to be hitting stores soon?
They're going to be hitting stores in a couple of weeks, probably like about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 is what we're targeting. And yeah, it's a 6x38 Petit Lancero limited edition like we just talked about. Then we've got the Corona Gorda regular production. That's a 5 5/8 by 46. That's really, really nice and tasty too. It's a Parejo. And then we've got the Toro that you mentioned. It's a 6x52 soft box press to round out the sizes. And we're looking towards the future for possibly a 6x60. And I didn't release it yet because I want to make sure it's done right. I wasn't happy with it yet, where we were at. So I'm holding it for a little bit. But that's going to be, I think, really, really special as well. So we can maybe look out for that.
So we talked about this a little bit. Oh, can you turn your volume down just a little bit?
Martian.
Just start getting just a little bit of feedback. We talked about this a little bit offline, and I said I wasn't going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up now anyway. We had some mentions on the site that you had some input. That you took some input that you got online from different forums and things of that nature. The details of which we don't really have, but and that's kind of what led to going in the direction of the Petite Lancero. And now that you're talking about a 6x60, how much do you actually pay attention to what people say? Like what people like Logan and I say, like, oh, this would, we want to try this in a different size. I mean, is it the kind of thing where you really engage with customers, or is it just, it's kind of more of a passive feedback type thing? I mean, do you have a particular way that you do something like that? I mean, obviously, if you're going those two ends of the spectrum, the Petite Lancero and the 6x60, I mean, that's kind of what the market wants. So, I mean, you could just say that's what the market's dictating. But I'm just curious if you have a particular way of doing that.
Nope, no set particular formula for me. I do like to engage in conversations with, people like yourself, and when I'm just even hanging out and listen to what people have to say, and sometimes I will try, some blends in those particular sizes and see what I think. If I think it works, then I might take it further. But if not, then no. But I definitely have my ear to the ground all the time. I think it's interesting what some people like suggest or is talked about in certain circles.
So can we expect like an 8x80?
I don't think anything's gonna beat that femur that that Romacraft has going on.
I hate to love him.
Did he? Did they have that at IPCPR? I didn't see it.
He did.
They did have it.
Did you guys see it? Did you see it, Logan?
I did. I wanted to smoke it, because if you could smoke it in like half of it in under an hour, give it to you for free. And dude, that would have been like amazing. But
or you're dead.
Oh well, you don't know my nicotine tolerance, dude. It's pretty high.
It's just that conjures up. Have you guys ever seen the movie, like an '80s movie? So Logan probably hasn't seen it. The Great Outdoors with John Candy.
No.
Dan Aykroyd, where he has to go like to the restaurant. He eats the old 96er. It's a 96-ounce steak, and everybody eats for free. That's what it conjures up in my head. But anyway, you should watch it. It's funny. But okay, so that's just curious. I mean, there seems to be those two different directions, and we talk about it a lot on the show. But anyway, we can move on from that. So
I got questions.
Oh, Logan's got questions, but I want to talk just a little bit about. I mean, everything that you've done so far. You've got two cigars, and for me, they're both, medium body, full flavor. You have any thoughts of moving in another direction, moving forward? I mean, something full-bodied or something a little more mild, like Logan likes.
Mild.
Mild. We are prototyping at the moment something on the milder side. I'm going to mention Connecticut, a Connecticut wrapper, but nothing's definite yet.
We're breaking news anyway.
We are breaking news. We're also breaking wind in some parts.
Oh, hell.
But yeah, we are.
Whatever.
We are definitely exploring that.
Okay, fair enough. You give us a little bit of a little tease. I like that. Okay, yeah. Logan, go ahead.
All right, so I got a bunch of questions here. So first one, cigar surgeon, favorite Canadian cigar smoker. One, I think this one is just because he's trying to talk shit to you. But what's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team. I don't have a favorite football team, to be honest. I'm more of a basketball guy, as you could tell by my height. But
that makes sense. Logical. So do you like the Knicks? Or who do you like?
Yeah, I love the Knicks, man. I'm a Knickaholic.
I'm a Knick. Have you ever seen the 30 for 30, the Reggie Miller winning time versus the Knicks? probably the best 30 for 30 ever.
Yeah, you know what? I go nuts every time you mention the name Reggie Miller. I just break into hives. All right.
Hey, Reggie Miller, first of all, I like him because he's the biggest shit talker, but he comes off like this innocent guy, and he can get people so, like John Starks when he headbutts him, dude. It's so awesome, so great. Anyways, I don't care for either one of them. I just thought it was great because it was hilarious. But so okay, obviously, cigar surgeon, he doesn't like football, so that was a stupid question. I'm just kidding, buddy. What kind of cutter do you prefer to use? You punch, V-cut, guillotine, scissors, cutter of choice.
For me, it's guillotine.
And why?
Why? Just because for me, I think I get the most flavor for me out of a stick from a guillotine. It's just the way it's always been for me.
I would agree. I mean, I use my multi-tool, but yeah, I mean, I think the more you cut, the more flavor and stuff you can get through the cigar. But on a big enough cigar, if you punch it, I mean, I think you get less flavor, but the flavor that you get is more concentrated. I mean, maybe we could do a scientific experiment. I don't know, but so that was a good question. Whoever just asked that. The next one, why? And I love when the people start at like The Office where they say question. Like, of course I know it's a question. Why do you think the market's gone away from the classic Robusto Toro to the Femur, 7x70, 6x60, all, to down to a Petite Lancero? Why do you think the market's gravitating from the middle so much recently, kind of in both directions?
My personal feeling is that it's a direct result of the fallout of the economy and the recession that we've been in. People for years, I think, have been looking and are still looking for the most bang for your buck, and that's translated and transitioned right through into tobacco. Everybody, or a lot of people, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of folks are looking for the most tobacco that they can get for like, that $10 range and still, and it's like, what's the biggest I can get? So that's what I think is happening.
Got it. No, I mean, I think you're right. And in my personal theory, if we're going to strategize and, think outside the box, I agree. I think, especially in the larger ring gauges, I think you go into any store and you're like, well, I can get a 6x60 for, let's say, $10, and I can get a Lancero for $8 or whatever, right? And people are going to be like, well, more is more. Well, and I think the more you know about tobacco, actually, less is more. And also, honestly, I think this is an American thing, right? Like Texas, right? Everything needs to be bigger. Everything needs to be better. And I really think, you're going to have a 6x60, you have a 7x70, you have an 8x80. I would not be surprised if there's like a 9x90 next year. And I don't think it'll ever stop until...
You've just revealed my next project. So. Okay.
More breaking news. Well, eventually it has to stop, right? Because... You can only smoke a cigar that's so big.
Unless you're Linda Lovelace. Dirty reference that nobody got.
I got it. They're making a movie about her with that really hot chick with the big eyes. Who's you know the girl I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
No, she was in she was in Les Mis. She had the big eyes. She's super sexy. I can't remember what her name is.
I don't know.
Look up the Loveless movie. She's starring in it.
Well, if it's not Jessica Padron, I don't care. So
copy that. Copy. But no, I think I'll chime in. You guys didn't ask for my opinion, but I'm going to give it anyway.
Because we don't care.
It's true. Nobody cares about my opinion. Who am I? Just a good-looking guy in a hat. That's it. You did no argument. I like that. I appreciate it.
Not saying a word.
Yeah.
Conceded.
Yay!
Weak sauce.
I'm going to hold off on that because that got out of control.
You got to save the weak sauce.
I do.
No, I think Antonio's got a point. Like, if I'm going to walk in and if I've only got, say, I only get one chance a week to smoke a cigar, am I going to smoke a Petite Lancero? Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to smoke something bigger. I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not a big ring gauge guy. I think most of the people who do what we do aren't big ring gauge guys. So I think we kind of I don't want to say we're better educated consumers because I don't think that's the right term, but we're nerds.
We're more savvy.
More savvy. There you go. We're more savvy customers. There you go. Yeah. And it's not so much about quantity as it is quality. But I think Logan's got a point too, where it's very American. I mean, mine's bigger than yours. That type of thing, you know. But I mean, some cigars are just good, are better in bigger ring gauges. I smoked something recently in a 6x60, which I never smoked 6x60s, and it took me like 2 hours to smoke the damn thing. But it was really good in that size. It was a Padilla Reserva Maduro, I think, and it was actually really good. But I haven't had it in a smaller ring gauge to compare. But like things like my Uzi weighs a ton, and the baitfish, I feel like it's just a better smoke than it is in the 6x60. So I mean, it goes both ways, I guess.
So no, it's about a point. I got some more questions here. This one's really good. I'm going to ask it because Bill, this is kind of funny, and no one's ever asked this question, and it's kind of something I think I would ask. Ask this: if you were a type of tobacco, what type would you be and why?
That is genius.
I know. I love it. I wish we didn't give away the prize already.
It just feels like
you would so good.
It feels like a job interview now.
I know.
Yeah. You're saying if I was like let's say I could pick like a different like a rapper I want to be or something? Or?
Well, I mean, you'd be Nicaraguan to the core. We know that. But if you were going to be a rapper, what would you be and why?
Not like a hip hop.
Yeah,
that's what I was just gonna say. Not a rapper, but a rapper.
Oh, yeah. In that case, oh man. Wow, I think I would say a Connecticut broadleaf.
And why?
I love the flavors that come off of Connecticut broadleaf, man. Those notes and what it does to a blend is like really, really special. I'd love to work with a Connecticut broadleaf sometime in the future. But yeah, that's what I would be.
Okay. Well, if you say that 3 times, that means you're going to do it. So I keep hearing Connecticut. So okay. Next question. Let me see here, and then I'll give it back to Rob because I'm reaching to the point where I'm just itching to say a cuss word, so I just got to give it back to Rob before then. How much, this is a good question, is they'd like to know how much a cigar changes from blending until the time it hits the humidor. So for example, when you blend a cigar, you know, it obviously, when you blend it together, obviously it's wet, it's got to kind of rest and mellow and marry together. But, you know, how much, it can be your cigar or any cigar, from the time you roll it until the consumer smokes it, how much does it actually change from the point in which it's rolled?
I think it changes considerably, not a crazy amount, but I'm going to use the word considerably. And for me, it's very sharp for me when it, you know, sharper. Like, I guess we could think of it maybe as like cheese or something. I don't know, like a sharp cheese, and then like a sharper cheese, and then it kind of like, you know, plateaus a little bit by the time it kind of gets to where, you know, you really taste it when it hits the humidor. And you know, it's kind of weird because when I'm involved in the blending process, I compensate for that in my head a little bit. And okay. You know, I wasn't formally trained or anything as a blender and stuff. I go a lot from, you know, just my gut and what advice I get and what I've learned myself. But that's kind of like the what I'm gonna say.
Okay, so you compensate Kentucky windage.
Yeah, tucking and winding. What did you say?
Man, like all my jokes are falling on deaf ears tonight. Kentucky windage. Kentucky windage is whenever you're a sharpshooter and you're factoring in the wind, and it's not anything you're formally trained. It's kind of like a gut feeling. It's you go with your gut on the wind, so you factor in moving your rifle up and to the right or up and to the left or whatever until. Sorry, I grew up on a farm in Missouri. It's stupid. I'll just shut up now. Rob, it's all you.
Is anybody else concerned that Logan has been trained to use firearms?
Me.
Yeah. Hey. I actually kind of fear for my life now.
Dude, I'm an expert marksman. And if you want to find out how good I am, just walk into my house in Texas, and you will find out.
That's fantastic.
I love Texas.
Okay.
I'm not going without an invitation. And I've
Exactly.
never received one, so
And you probably never will, bro.
we're good. So we're good.
No, you can come down anytime.
Thanks to Fat Kid, Amanda Seyfried is the girl's name.
Oh yeah.
She's very.
She does have big eyes.
She does. The big doe eyes, just blinking to death. So do we not have any more audience questions, or are you just passing it on to me so you don't say a curse word?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're kind of out of questions. I'm letting them kind of stack up, but I'm passing it off to you because you're Rob.
No,
I want you to
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
You better.
So, you're working on some stuff moving forward. What is, and this is a question that I've asked before, and I've done blending seminars. I've never done any real blending where it's kind of do whatever you want to do. Everything that I've done has been in very controlled environments. You have a limited amount of stuff to pick from, and I was overwhelmed. How do you go about dealing with that and not being overwhelmed? Walking into a situation saying, okay, this is the type of cigar that I want to produce. And, I mean, obviously, after time, you get familiar with, if I want this particular flavor, I know that I'm going to work with Nicaraguan tobacco or whatever. But how does that work for you? And was there kind of a learning curve that you've taken that helped you now that you kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with it?
Well, I find like a healthy quantity of Xanax kind of helps. That's what I typically go in with.
Adderall solves all the world's problems.
I just like to feel good, man. That's nice.
I just feel good. I just like to feel good.
But on a serious note, I mean, again, I just refer back to like kind of like my gut instinct, more gut instinct, and things that I've seen others do, and what I've picked up, and just like the vision that I have for that particular blend that I'm going to get into. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess I don't want to be corny, but I guess it's kind of like an artist, or like Van Gogh, a fine artist. They kind of have somewhat of a vision of where they want to go and take that piece, and they just take the materials that they want to use and just formulate that and make it happen. But obviously tobacco's just tobacco, so you got to keep experimenting, even though you know what you want to have and you're mixing what you think is going to work. No, it doesn't work, and take something out and mess with the percentages and keep coming out. And then the thing is, you got to wait, because then you got to wait to see what it tastes like weeks, months down the road, and then go back. And so it's a process.
I don't think it's corny. I don't think it's corny to say that you're looking at it as an artist. I mean, you're a graphic designer by trade. Now, I'm a graphic designer by trade as well. So when I've got a new project or something that I'm working on, I have a particular way that I look at my blank screen and change that into what it's to become. Do you feel like you use the same? This is more of a question just for me, and so I don't really care what anybody else thinks. Do you feel like you use the same part of your brain when you do that to blending cigars? I mean, do you take that same approach?
Yeah, I think I definitely do. I think I definitely look at it more from a creative standpoint than technical. But lately, I'm trying to like even that out a little bit. But yeah, I would say yes. That's always my creative side is always at the heart of what I do. In tobacco stuff. Yeah.
No, that was just curious because. I could see where that could be a benefit, where you can look at these different parts and kind of imagine how they're going to work together. But I can also see where it would be a hindrance too, because when you're designing something, you have complete and total control of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you don't have complete and total control of the way the tobaccos are going to work together, and the way it's going to be after it's rolled and all that stuff. So I could see how it would be a benefit and a hindrance.
Yeah, or a concept for what I might have. I mean, I had this great, and I'm still trying to make it work. I have this great concept for a blend and a shape and the way it can work together, and it would be really innovative. I mean, nobody's done it. Um, but the logistics of it is quite challenging. I mean, if I'm ever able to do it, it's going to be phenomenal. But we gotta we gotta make it work from a technical standpoint, and that's the challenging part. But creatively, that thing flies. But
yeah, I can imagine. I'm curious. I would like to know what you're talking about. Obviously, you're not going to share it with us, but
no, I can't.
someday tell me about it. When you figure out if it's going to work or if it's not, tell me about it. And then I promise I won't share it with anybody.
Yeah, right.
Don't trust him.
Yeah, you can't. You can trust me. I'm a trustable kind of guy. So everything that you've done so far, Nicaragua Puro, all the way. Any thoughts of working with other countries, Mexican San Andreas, Dominican, anything like that?
Absolutely. There's going to be, I think, something down the pipeline, probably next year that will, look to deviate from the Nicaraguan Puro footprint that I have. Definitely experimenting with that now. I just gotta nail it. But the 5th anniversary of the brand is coming up next year, so I do want to do something. Yeah, I do want to do something really, really special. So we're looking along those lines, Robbie. You're right on target.
Yay.
No, Rob.
All right, Logan, go ahead. You ever watch Seinfeld, where that one where George just always leaves on a high note? Like, I'm done. I'm leaving on a high note.
Oh, Rob.
Very good.
So, let me ask you this. So, I didn't know you were around for 5 years, and maybe that's just because I'm ignorant or something.
Well, you weren't here for the last show.
This is true. I was not. But I should be more educated. But thank you, Rob, for calling that out. So my question is that how do you, someone had called out that, you're very active in Twitter, doing kind of giveaways and stuff. Kind of being a small brand, how do you go about promoting yourself, social, or do you go to events, or, what's the typical way you promote yourself?
The most typical way is, that person's correct, social media. I find that it's been the strongest driver for the brand, and I love interacting with people. I love talking about the brand and about what you're having for breakfast or for a snack or whatever. I'm a foodie too. I like.
Really?
So yeah.
Were you a chef at any time?
I wasn't a chef, but I would love to be. I mean, if I had my way, I might leave tobacco and just become go for the culinary stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think tobacco can be thought of up as a specialty dish as well, and right along the culinary arts as well. I mean, I talk about it with a friend of mine, but it's right in there, man. And so social media is been very, very impactful for the brand, and I love to do it. That's the biggest one for me.
No, and I agree. I think social is important, but I think you made a really point when I asked you were a chef, was because Dustin, side, he's not on CigarChat, but is a moderator contributor on Cigar Federation. I don't know if you met him or not, IPCPR, but he was a chef, and I hate to admit it and give people compliments, but I think he's got a very developed palate, and he way more than myself, and I'll easily admit it. And he was a chef and stuff like that, and I think there's a correlation between. Frankly, I was raised on meat and potatoes. I grew up on a farm in Missouri, so until recently I moved to Texas, I didn't have spicy foods or flavorful foods or anything like that. And I think the more you experience that, I actually think it helps develop your palate. That's just a theory I have.
No, I agree with you, man. I think it's you're right in there, and I think it's exciting to to experiment with that kind of correlation there. So who knows? You may see the Reinado tobacco food or something mixed with food or something. Who knows? We don't know.
Who knows?
We got sorry, I'm chiming in because I feel like I should call him Brian, but I just like calling him Fat Kid because it's just that's his handle.
Great name.
He says, "How about a food truck with a humidor in it?" It's not a bad idea.
Dude, that would do awesome in Austin.
You should patent that. I know there was a out here in California. There was a one of those Winnebago type things, and it was a full humidor, and it would travel to sporting events and stuff, and people could, in the parking lot, buy a cigar and smoke inside or whatever. And I think that California shut them down. Shocking, right? Okay. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, you do that all the time. No big deal. So let me see here. Other quick questions. So I mean, we've kind of talked about, kind of what you're coming out with, what you're releasing. Like, when you come up with kind of a vision for a cigar, I mean, it sounds like, Rob asked the question about being kind of a graphic designer and using the creative side of your brain. Like, when you come up with a blend or an idea, is it, hey, I want to do a Connecticut, and then you kind of wait for the idea to come and then kind of marry on it? Or is it you go in with the idea and then try to shape the tobacco around the idea?
It's definitely more of the overall idea and what I want to create out of it, and then I start putting together the technical aspects of which wrapper I want to experiment with and that will work, and which, different tobaccos I'm going to use for the filler and stuff like that, and what binder. So definitely the vision, overall picture first, and then the technical components of what could make it work.
Yeah, I think our brains work oppositely. Me and I think it's been proven over the last 20 months that Rob and I think completely differently, and I don't think like that at all. I think like the technical details, and then I'm like, okay, let's go from there. So I don't think about the vision.
Yeah, Logan, you're more of a spreadsheet, and I'm more of a sketch pad.
I am. It's true. I'm more of an outline. I'm an outline.
Yeah, your bullet points. Yeah,
I am bullet points. It's very corporate. I know.
But that's it's funny. Like, and I'm gonna give this away. I've learned how to communicate with Logan. Just short, concise sentences, tiny little points, but
it's
a bunch
true.
of baby stuff. But a bunch of them, and it's not an insult. I mean, that's how you think.
That's how I work.
And it's funny to think about it that way. But yeah, corporate America will do that to you, man.
And just makes us all fucking robots.
There it is. We almost got through a full hour.
Hey, I gotta do it. I know, man. Well, it walked right into it, man.
You did. Yeah, that was my fault.
It's okay. So, yeah, I mean, the chat room's kind of quieted down. I think first accept of being a weasel's acceptance. Okay, well, you're probably true about that. Oh, here's one. What part of the business do you find most exciting? Like the blending, the marketing, the meeting the people, the events. What's most exciting for you?
For me, that's easy. Meeting the people, man. That's the most interesting part for me, because everybody's always got some kind of interesting story that they have or experience that they have, and that is the best part. I mean, I really enjoy it, and I really love networking. I mean, that's my thing.
Very short answers. So, okay.
He does give short answers.
I mean, I'm like trying in the chat to type back to people, and we've had some people on that just were like chatty freak Cathys, and I could just tune out for like an hour. It was awesome. But yeah, you keep me on my toes, buddy. It's good.
No, it's good.
So meeting the people and the networking, is it more of the networking on kind of the back end stuff? Is it the going down to the factory, meeting your blender, meeting who you're buying your tobacco from? Or is it more of meeting the shop owners, or is it meeting the customers buying your product? Which one is it?
It's more of the meeting the customers who are interested in the brand and seeing their reactions. First of all, hearing about their lives, really, because mine's boring, so I like to listen to other people's lives. But I'm kidding. But just then, having them try the blend, and then the reactions that I get from them once they try the blend and they see kind of what others see and what I try to convey in it, and that for me is magic when I see that.
Right.
When that happens in front of me.
So, a follow-up question to that. So, I mean, I can see it. Like, you put your you put your heart and your soul into the product, and when you see someone smoking, be like, it's chocolatey, this and this, and it resonates with you. I mean, I could see how that would be magical. Like, yes, you hit the nail on the head. But have you ever had the experience with the opposite, where someone totally didn't get what you were portraying? And not saying they bash your product, because you make a good product, but where they didn't see it, were you able to communicate that to them, or they just were fucking ignorant? Yep, my second one. Or, I mean, how did you handle that? Because, I mean, I'm sure it's just as disheartening, right, to have someone say the opposite to you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is on the net. Obviously it's a negative, but um, I approach I approach this business and really a lot of what I do in the way of, okay, what am I going to learn now? Let's turn this into a positive. What am I going to learn about this individual who did not have a good experience with my product? And I started asking them questions. I'm like, why didn't it resonate this way for you? And I try to learn, definitely try to learn from those experiences and use it for myself and for others. Absolutely. I mean, I love Rob's reaction before, and that's what I was talking about before. When people love it, and he's kind of like opening up a present at Christmas morning. You know what I'm saying? That's the experience. Yeah, I could see that
Nice.
Disney magic glow on him. I mean, that's cool. But
It's true.
when it's not sexy like that, I mean, you gotta take it and use it for the betterment of mankind, if I may say that. But
Exactly.
that's
Okay.
what I try to do.
No, that's a great point, and I'll have two more questions, and then we'll get it wrapped up. But what
Yeah.
source do you get most feedback from on your product? Is it social, meeting people kind of face to face? And then the second part of that question is, have you visited anywhere in the U.S. where people are the most hostile towards cigar smokers, or hostile in terms of like feedback they're giving you, or is it just kind of random across the board?
It's pretty random. I mean, I haven't run into any hostile like zombies or anything lately, but
Zombies.
that could zombies that could change if I go to Secaucus, New Jersey in a minute. But
True.
yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty random. I think I can't pinpoint one location like that. No, um, so that's that.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's good. So, Rob, I am physically shutting my mouth for the rest of the episode.
You're done. You're
I've
tapped
asked
out.
a ton of good questions,
Tapped out.
and I am
Thank you.
I am
Yeah.
good. I feel fulfilled. I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel good. Kind of like, ta-da!
Nice.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I promised Antonio would have him here for about an hour. It's 10 o'clock over there, so we've got to let him go. But just real quick, kind of sum up. Let everybody know where they can find you. Facebook, Twitter, things like that. Any events that you're going to be at coming up? I mean, we saw you at IPCPR, but I mean, I know there's all kinds of different events that you guys go to. So let everybody know where you're going to be. Over the next few months.
Yeah, definitely. Well, over the next few months, we actually don't have anything confirmed event-wise, like big event-wise. I'm going to be doing local events here in New York, New Jersey. So just check my website page and social media. Website ReinadoCigars.com. Facebook is Reinado Cigars, and Twitter, I think it's the same thing, Reinado maybe _cigars. Just try and follow me on social media and ask me anything. I personally am answering. It's not a bot. I tried that, but they wanted too much. The bot was like hassling me for money, so that's not gonna work. So I answer myself, and that's pretty much it, Rob.
Yeah, no, you're at Reinado Cigars on Twitter. You're Reinado _cigars on Instagram.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I learned that yesterday. I didn't realize that the Instagram had an underscore. So
Right.
Antonio's very he's open to reaching out with you guys and communicating. I mean, obviously, if we could talk him into coming on our show, he could be talked into doing just about anything. So
No joke.
so yeah, give him a shout. Follow him on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll keep an eye out for all the new stuff, the new sizes that are going to be hitting the stores. I'll have my review of the Petite Lancero, which I'm very excited about. I'll have that up
Thank
next
you.
week, and I know Logan's got one as well. So, and Logan loved it when he smoked it at IPCPR. So I'm curious to see how the small ring gauge settles with the large Texan.
Hey,
Nice.
large in
Missourian.
personality.
Missourian? Missourian?
Missourian.
Is that how you? Is that really the word? Missourian?
Missourian.
Ugh.
Hey, hey.
No offense.
Screw you, dude. We got Nelly, bro. That's all that matters. We got Nelly.
What's he doing? What is he? This is where the show falls apart.
Just living large.
We can talk about it. We're going to start talking about Nelly and what is he doing, and that's where the show falls apart.
Living large, bro. Living large.
So we've got the store's still open, and we'll keep it open for a little bit so you guys can, talk to your wives or whatever. I still have to go in and make my purchases. I'm picking up a 5-pack of the GERs. I just love that cigar.
Thank you.
It's. I feel like I tend to say that I love everything, and that's not really true. I mean, there's certain cigars that I like, and there's cigars that I love, and this is one of the cigars that if I could, I would smoke it every day. It's a damn good smoke for real. So
well,
what do you wait?
I'm gonna put you down for 100 boxes.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, just ship those to Logan in Texas.
Here's my Amex. Boom.
Just real quick, what do you pair with the Grand Empire Reserve? What's your favorite pairing? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic, whatever.
You know what? I really enjoy a Belvini. I think it was the other day, the 15-year double wood. I think it was. That was delicious, man.
Belvini.
Really, really delicious. Yeah.
Double wood. I haven't tried that. I know it's Scotch, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's a very delicious single malt Scotch, man.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't. I've had most of them that I've smoked have been in. Oddly enough for me, because normally I'm smoking by myself, but in social situations at a HERF or at an event like at IPCPR, and I haven't really had a chance to pair it with anything. So that's a lot of the reason that I want to pick up a few more, because I want to get. I really want to pair it with some rum. But I just don't know if that's going to be. Oh, I love that Florida Caña, dude. That is good stuff.
It's the heater.
I've got a bottle of the 18. I think I like the 12 better.
Oh.
The 12's got a little bit more sweetness to it, but I think the 18 might be better because the cigar is sweet enough as it is. Anyway, so I'll give you guys my feelings and my feedback on the pairings. But anyway, guys, so we'll keep the store open for a little bit longer tonight, so you guys can make some last-minute purchases. Antonio, again, thanks for always you've been supportive of my site and of Cigar Federation since day one. So we really do appreciate it. Thank you for giving us access to give these guys some discounts on your great smokes. We appreciate it. Hopefully they're picking some of them up and they can experience them as well, because you really do have a good product, and it's one of those things I want more people to get. That's one of the main things. One of the main focuses of our show is trying to get people to realize there is a lot of good stuff out there. So hopefully they get a chance to try them out. Thank you again for taking the time, guys. Thank you for the support of Cigar Federation, Robbie Raz Reviews, CigarChat. We really appreciate it. You guys know where to find me. I'm RobbieRazReviews.com, at Robbie Raz on Twitter. Logan is running things at Cigar Federation. He is Logan at Dell, Corporate Monkey on Twitter.
Corporate Monkey!
We need to get you. You need to get a Corporate Monkey tattoo.
I need to get a corporate. I just want to say I'm a corporate cube monkey, and then on the back says bitches.
No, not a T-shirt, a tattoo.
Dude, I don't have no ink, and I will never get no ink.
Ink it up. Ink it up. Thug life.
Ink it up.
No, bro,
right
I'll break
across
out.
your chest.
I'll break out.
So, Logan, who do we have next week? Who do we have next week?
Stogie, right here, right up here, up top, wrap it around the nipple. Yeah, you know it,
Nice.
bro.
Solid.
Nice.
That's where I'm going. I'll get a Cigar Federation tattoo. No, hell no. We got Stogie. We're going to change your pace. Instead of interviewing a manufacturer, we're going to interview another cigar show. So
That'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Michael Ferry, and then I don't think what the other. I'm sad I don't know the other guy's. I know his name. It's like Mike Williams.
Okay.
I think it's only Mike. I think it's only
Michael.
Knight Rider. That's what I call him.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. So that's next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And we're getting back to our regular time.
And regular time is 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
5
o'clock Pacific.
Got it.
And that's where we're gonna. That's what we're gonna stick with. We've been
heavily debated.
Monkeying around with the time a lot, with Logan traveling, and today I had a day game at AT&T, so I needed to make sure I was going to be here. But we'll be at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. you'll notice that when we say Eastern and Pacific, nobody mentions Central Time, dude. Nobody cares about Central Time except for Texas.
And people in Missouri and the Great Plains and the heart of America, the breadbasket.
Whatever.
We're off topic. I'm done. I'm sick of arguing it.
All right, guys. Thanks again for support. Antonio, thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Thank you, guys, for having me and giving me the opportunity to talk about the brand. Love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, and continued success moving forward, and we'll see you, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. All right, guys, have a good night. Have a good weekend.
All right, see you guys.
You too.